That current is pretty strong though. Well, good morning. Welcome to Montana. We are just north of St. Regis on the Clark Fork River. Found ourselves a good camp spot last night. We'll be here for a couple days, just enjoying some coffee and the fire before we get the laptop fired up. This is a spot that we drove through February this year, and this river was frozen over. It's quite the opposite now. This river is flowing pretty good. I've been looking at shower kits for a while now, but the overland specific ones, that they cost, gosh, $300 to $500 for propane fired ones. Saw this at Costco for $150, so I figured we give it a go. In order to use it, you just turn it on, and you got some pretty good water pressure. Well, that worked well. It was actually really warm water for about the span of this hose. Then once the water from the reservoir got into the hose and came out, that was still very, very cold. Being out camping and having something like this where you can just rinse off, that makes a big difference. And it's Costco, so if anything goes wrong, take it back. This shade, this awning, has been a lifesaver. Without it, we would be constantly just chasing the shade from the trees. Got about another hour of work, and then I think I'm going to take him a little bit further down where there's a kind of more of a beach so he can go swimming. He's been good though. He's just kind of slept and walked around camp a little bit. We are in bear territory, so I am keeping a closer eye on him than usual. That current is pretty strong though, so we're going to keep a close eye on him. Oh, this is what we came for, huh? Yeah, buddy. Now you're a happy pup. All right, so we got about 7:30. Going to start some dinner. I have a brand new carbon steel pan that it comes pre-seasoned, but I'm going to season it once or twice before I throw a steak on. So what we're going to do, if you've never seasoned or used carbon steel, avocado oil, just throw it in here, let it heat up. So I don't know if you can see it, but that's what we're going for, just some smoke. And just let that sit there for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Ideally, you would be having even heat all the way around. It's a little difficult with campfire, but that should work. So, gonna grab the steak, get that ready, and throw it on. I did notice I forgot my asparagus, so no veggies tonight. And then the nice thing about this carbon steel is just like cast iron. Every time you use it and you cook with it, it gets more and more seasoned. Pull that off, let it rest for a little bit. And then, like I said, carbon steel, couple paper towels, clean, ready to go again. This is why you keep your camp organized. I just spent, probably about 10 minutes looking for my cutlery. Can't find it anywhere, so we're going with plastic. Oh yeah. Little pink in there. Well, we are back down at the water. That afternoon sun is getting a little toasty. We've got some guys in the boat floating the river fishing just up the way. Hudson is watching these fishermen very closely. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. How's the fishing?
Doing great.
Nice. Beautiful day.
Yeah.
We just saw some fly fishermen come down, floating the river. They just caught a fish probably about 100 yards down the bank from where we are. Perfect camping, buddy. You're gonna get a bath when you get home, that's for sure. Oh, he found a stick. Come on, bud, bring it here. Come on. There we go. Oh, he's so proud. Good boy. I told him we need to go, and he's hauling that stick all the way up to camp. It's like, Dad, you coming? All right. It's like, Dad, you're slow.
Come here.
So we are getting mosquito defenses up. About 3:30, mosquitoes came out hard. Got the fire going already. So we've got a couple thermocells. We have this one right here, which is a rechargeable. And all it does is there's a cartridge in here. It lasts for 4 to 8 hours, depending on the size of it. And then we also have this little sucker right here. This is more for backpacking, obviously very lightweight. But what you do is you attach it to any fuel canister. Connects right to the bottom of it. And it's got a little heating element on the top. And on that top heating element, you put a little thermocell pad that's soaked with their mosquito repellent. And it starts off blue. You slide it in there, just like that. And then you light it. There's a little hole that you look through, so you turn it on. And then you make sure you can see, it's lit in there. So now that'll go for 4 to 6 hours. And then you just strategically place these around camp. They each have like a 10, 15 foot radius, but it works. These two things do the trick to keep mosquitoes away. All right, so tonight we are making a very exquisite dish. Takes a lot of effort. Fajitas. Should be super easy. So we got chicken already pre-cut, bell peppers, tortillas. All right, this looks pretty good. So we are going to move it over to a pot just for right now. Two chicken pitas. You've been a good boy. You're drooling. All right. Good boy. Tell you what, this is the knockoff of the Jetboil Genesis, which is like a $400 folding propane stove cook system. This is like 80 bucks. It's performing flawlessly. I'm very impressed. I'm glad we did not try to find a new camp tonight. That would have just been too rushed, and instead we were able to take the second half of today and just relax and enjoy this camp spot. The sun's just about to dip down below the mountains, and as soon as that happens, it gets cold quick. This has been perfect though. I mean, this area right on the Clark Fork, you're far enough out of civilization that you're not dealing with people, but also you're close enough if something were to happen or you need to go into town for something. It's not a all-day trip. Tell you what, that thing is awesome. Dump some water from the fire that was a little warm into the rinse kit is so nice to be able to rinse off, be able to crawl in bed, feeling clean. That's a lifesaver. We are already in bed. It's approaching 10 o'clock right now and it's still daylight out. But we're wiped. 3 days in the sun camping. Gonna call it a night here. See you guys in the morning. Good morning. We were not planning on having a fire this morning, but woke up and it's a little chilly and we had a few more logs left to burn, so figured why not. So we'll be able to hit the road here pretty quick. Go hit a trail on the way home. Looking forward to it. These are my favorite times camping. Early morning, sun is just coming up. Yeah. Well, we just left camp. Broke down pretty easily. It's not even 9 o'clock. So we're going to hit the road. Just got a little ways down the road to go before we hit that trail. 16 miles and takes us up to about 6,000. We'll see how far up we can get. All right, we just got off trail. 16 miles should get us up to about 5,700 feet elevation is what I saw. Just passed some people, look like they're either going hiking or something, carrying bear spray. We are definitely getting into grizzly habitat. I think we're about 6-7 miles in. Trail is getting progressively narrower and a bit more overgrown, but we're climbing. So you can see maybe down there's the road we've been on. And we've climbed quite a bit, about 2,000 feet so far. There are always a few moments when I'm doing one of these trails that I'm wondering if I bit off more than I can chew. Right now this trail's fine, but there's been some dicey spots and just so remote. But we're nearing the top, so I think hopefully it'll open up a little bit. And I'm always noting, like right there at that switchback, there's a good spot I can back into and turn around if I need to. So you're always taking note of where you can turn around with the trailer. Well, the trees are definitely starting to thin out. We're at about 5,500 feet elevation right now. Pretty close to the top, probably maybe another mile. I'm breathing easier. These roads right here are a bit wider and you don't have sheer drop-offs. So, feeling better. Camel's Hump, 1 mile up. Oh, and it's closed. Well, that's disappointing. Looks like it's still a little bit of a hike up, and when I tell you I have a healthy fear of grizzlies, I do. I ran into one quite a while ago, but that's a story for another time. So now we gotta back up a little bit. All right, so now it's decision time. So we came all this way, 16 miles up to this peak, and I can get down to, looks like a road or a more established Forest Service road, 2148. by going down this way, so I think we're going to try that. It's a pretty nice sweeping view. Shows you how high we've come. 5,600 feet. Started at 2,600, so we gained 3,000 feet. Wow. The trail on this side of the mountain is quite a bit more friendly. Not as overgrown. And just like that, we are back on pavement. Just finished 22 miles of trail, 4,000 feet of elevation gain. Got a little dicey in a couple spots, but it was good. Got quite a ways up into the mountains. That was cool to see. So we're back in St. Regis, about to head home. But before I do, everyone says to stop and get the huckleberry milkshake. So let's see how it is. Okay. That is pretty good. All right. I get what all the fuss is about. That is incredible. That'll be something we do every time we come through St. Regis now. That's really good. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Until next time, thanks for watching.